FUE Expert. Is this the best hair transplant clinic in the world? Well, according to many, it is. Couto is the doctor responsible for all of their results we see on their socials. But why his results come across as one of the best in the world? Well, let's analyze. If you're looking at their socials, especially the thumbnails, their results look mind-blowing, to be honest. Just 2,204 FUE grafts, and looking at these pictures, the first thing that comes to my mind is very aggressive design, right? It lowered quite substantially, which most people actually gonna prefer. The temple peaks are really defined, really brought them forward. By bringing forward temple peaks so much, he needs to close those temples quite a bit. And looking at this design, I'm not gonna lie, probably like 100% of you will want that, right? We see the patient already had quite a few hairs in his temple peaks, so essentially he's just bringing forward the recession and slightly just structuring a little bit the peaks themselves. The hairline is not going to be lowered as much, at least in the central forelock over here, but the temples is quite a big gap. Pay attention of this patient's hair characteristics. They're quite thin and straight, so you'll essentially need quite a good density implanted in order not to stand out next to the native hair. So I see they shaved a little bit of his hairline. Supposedly they're going to be implanting slightly more in there as well. The design looks really aggressive, but the patient has minimal hair loss and incredible donors we can see in here. So why not? They mark quite a big area, which I prefer. I like to see the doctors utilizing as much of the donor area as possible. They decided not to shave entire head. They left his top unshaven. This will allow the patient to comb forward the hair and essentially hide his transplant. 2,200 grafts, and definitely they implanted a little bit in the central forelock as well, even though it was already pretty thick. But this design looks really aggressive and looks actually really nice. What I would like you to pay attention is the density, transplanted density. It doesn't actually look like it's been transplanted that densely. The grafts are quite spaced apart. The donor, I must say, looks incredible. It looks like the punch size was pretty minimal. That doesn't really stand out already just 3 days after the surgery. Of course, after a few months, his scars will become whiter and they're going to be more visible, but nonetheless, it just shows that if it's done well, after 1 week, you are able to just go back, to live your life normally. 10 days post-operation is usually a good time to remove all the scabs and actually see how your transplanted hair will look like as a end result after 1 year. Of course, with a very short hair. We can see the doctor used the right angulation. He implanted the grafts really flat to the skin and pointing down. And as you're going towards the hairline, the angulation has been adjusted to match the native hair. And this is a full result. And most of you probably gonna think right now, oh my God, how's this possible? The result looks pretty dense. To my trained eye, I actually can spot the transplanted hairs simply because there's been a lot of multi-hair grafts used pretty close to the very front, even the temple peaks here or the hairline, so they definitely stand out. But because Dr. Couto implanted at a very flat and natural angles, the overall result looks actually pretty good. And just like that, after 2,200 grafts, the final result looks incredibly dense. But what is the catch? How Dr. Couto is able to achieve this really thick densities with relatively small amount of grafts? Well, the devil is in the detail. Look at the stats showed in the beginning of the video of this particular patient. The hair thickness is thin, the donor density is 85 plus follicular units per centimeter square. As a reference, this was my donor area before my first transplant, ranging from 80 to 90 follicular units per centimeter square, depending on the area. The hair thickness was 50 to 51 microns, so it's very thin as well. So 85 follicular units is definitely on the high end. I can't help but mention that seeing all of these stats, to me as a hair transplant nerd, is really refreshing to see, because it definitely helps to see the actual reason why this result looks great or not so great. And the reason this result looks dense, we can see here in the numbers. Average hair per graft ratio 2.5. This ratio is actually above average, and the surgeon strategically decided to extract this particular grafts so he can achieve a higher density. Again, as a reference, this is my surgery. My first transplant, I had 2.73 hairs per graft. On the second surgery, I had 2.86 hair per graft. And third surgery, I had 2.71. So the average was 2.78 hair per graft, with over 7,779 grafts transplanted all over my Norwood 5 area. And it was over 21,000 hairs. Of course, my hair is very thin, so I need this many grafts to make my transplant acceptable, essentially. So these high numbers actually contributed to this dense result, even with wet hair. As you can see, if he's coming back, you really cannot see any further than behind the immediate hairline. One key aspect that I want to mention is that he extracted only 213 single grafts. This is not a lot, and this creates two things. First of all, his final results looking actually pretty dense across the board. If you look at all of his results, he is extracting approximately 200 single hair graft across the board for all the cases, and he's implanting them in the hairline. But he's not using only exclusively single hair grafts in the front of the hairline. He's using quite a few doubles, triples. Again, as a reference, during my first surgery, I had 535 single hair grafts transplanted only in the frontal hairline. This is more than twice as much. This is why my hairline is reconstructed almost exclusively from a single hair grafts, and it looks slightly different. It will not look as dense as in this case, because here it looks just like a dense wall of hair. This is why when doing your research, you need to find the surgeon who creates the results that you personally like. Here is another example, and you can see in the hairline, he is using quite a lot of doubles and triples just to create this density. However, why his results are looking still pretty good and most people would actually like to have this result is because he nailed the graft implantation angles, and he's also creating micro and macro irregularities in his implantation across the board, whether it's hairline, temple peaks, etc. He's not implanting at the very front of the hairline like a straight line that you can literally, draw with a pen. He has a lot of micro irregularities. Here is another example with very bold temples that has literally zero hairs, and as you can see, he's not really transplanting very high density, but the final outcome, again, it looks pretty dense. The same thing what I mentioned earlier, he's implanting a lot of multi-hair graft units in those areas, which results in a higher visual density. Like, just look at these results. This looks really incredible. And the best thing about it is his donor management. As we saw already after day 10, the scars were pretty much invisible, but the patient has a really good amount of hair in his donor to begin with. He still has thousands of grafts available for any future transplant should he ever need it. So it begs the question, if you are researching and you see these results yourself, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Comment down below exactly what do you think. Would you like to have these particular results on your head, or would you rather have a result like this one? It's still a pretty aggressive design, but the hairline was reconstructed exclusively from a single hair grafts. Which one looks better to you and why? Let's discuss in the comments down below. And let me know who else you want me to analyze next. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.